A ver, arremángate, güey.
You're gonna feel good after this, man. And you going on a trip soon too, so it's gonna be good for you.
Oh, it's cold.
It's always
bro, they're gonna be like, he's such a. Oh my God, the needle's right there already.
Don't look at the needle.
No mames, güey.
Yo, Pep, don't do this, bro.
No, wait. You're gonna go in straight like that, fool?
No, the whole needle's not gonna go in. I promise the whole needle's not gonna go in.
Bro, I'm sweating like a mother right now. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. All right, do this shit, bro.
Hey. Good job. That's it.
Oh, that's it. That's great. It's in there. It's in that. Yeah, it's in my arm. All right. It's just sitting in my. It's just sitting in my arm. Bro, you better not put like no meth in this shit. In that bitch. Oh, I looked at it. I looked at it.
Look, that's it. That's it, bro.
No mames, güey.
That's it. You done.
I don't like this. It's in my arm. All right.
You good?
I hope so. All right, guys. Welcome back, bro. I'm about to. Oh man,
This is gonna be good, man. This is gonna be
fuck. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of PepTalks Podcast. Man, let's go. Let's do this shit real quick. Yeah. Ay, me duele.
You gonna feel good, bro.
Bro, look how sweaty my hand is.
Why are you shaking?
You see that? You see how sweaty I left this shit? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of PepTalks Podcast, man. I am, bro, I'm about to pass out. I'm not even kidding.
I'm gonna give you a moment to straighten out too, because I know your thinking is all fucked up right now. If y'all get to see how crazy this man was about this IV.
Bro, I'm sweating on the microphone. This is insane. Oh my God.
Does it feel cool? It feels like your arm feels kind of cool.
Cold?
Sometimes, yeah, like sometimes you don't even know what's going on.
In my head, I just have a needle in my arm right
No,
now.
there's no needle in there. The needle is retracted. It's just a plastic tube in there.
Okay. You made that 100 times worse.
I'm just trying to describe it for you so you kind of get a picture of what's, but I know you don't need that, so go ahead.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Hey, guys, welcome back to another episode of PepTalks Podcast. This is episode 26, man.
26, that's my birthday. March 26.
26.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
I just realized that.
I just realized that. No, and I'm really excited for this. This is kind of me coming back after Ricardo's, Richie's episode.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Fun.
I saw that one.
I wanted to get a 25. I think that was a good one, like a good little mile mark.
Yeah.
But man, joining me today.
A piece of shit, 26.
No. This is the start of the next great part of it. Joining me today, man, is entrepreneur. Right now, upcoming jeweler, upcoming IV tech, and just a good friend of mine, man. My boy Juan Castro.
Appreciate it. What's up?
I'm doing everything with one hand right now because I have a plastic needle in my fucking arm, bro.
Plastic tube.
But we're here at Hydro Plus. Over
Buckhead location.
Buckhead location.
Yeah.
I'll put in the location right here down beneath us. And yeah, I'm really excited we got to do this. I know it was kind of like on last minute basis, but thank you for having me today.
The last minute things are always the best, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like regardless of, like you said, I'm planning on leaving for a whole full week. So it's going to be pumping me up with greatness, man.
Yeah. You're going to feel good after that. I'm telling you. People, you might feel it after like halfway through the bag. You're not even there yet though.
Well, we're here, like we said, at Hydro Plus, and I'm, having the time of my life right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm not fond of needles. I've never really been, and I do want to get a tattoo soon. So I was like, this is good start.
It's a good start. I mean,
this is definitely not like
it's not like a tattoo. No, tattoo's like it's just scraping.
Yeah,
I feel like on the surface of your skin is just scraping.
And that's what we were looking at it yesterday because I've been with Richie getting his tat.
Yeah. And
it's been more of like just watching him bear a bunch of fucking pain, bro. That dude be. Yeah. It just looks gnarly. Just get like watching all the blood come out.
For me, it starts to get painful after like a certain time frame because he's going back over the same shit. Especially your shading, that's when it gets a little bit like harder. But for me, like the main outline, it's not bad.
Yeah. How many do you have?
2, 3, 4.
Were the leg
6,
ones?
7. You know, that's weird. The one that hurt the most was this little one that I have right here.
Oh, the calf? Yeah.
But it's like that. It's like 3-inch.
But they said the calf is like one of the painful ones.
Yeah, but I also got this whole backside of my calf filled in.
No, I don't think it moved it too much or nothing. There's something disconnected?
Yeah.
What?
I can't hear the mic. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, it's probably me then.
But what disconnected?
Okay, no, we good.
Oh, my bad.
My bad.
Just so we can. No, man, but that, like, I wanted to get one above my knee, and he was like, that might be like the least painful spot. So I was like, good.
Yeah, because I got some right here above my knees too, like right on my thighs.
It just gets hot?
Yeah. That pain is, it's that heat after.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a heat pain.
Richie's was really hot yesterday, man.
Oh, you can hover your arm around there and feel the heat coming out. Oh, yeah.
Fuck. But whatever, man. I mean, you can't have anything good without pain, you know? And I mean, that's what I like. I know you've been through a lot. I know like through what we've spoken about, we connect a lot. And in the fact of, through adversity, we found ourselves where we are now.
Absolutely.
And that's something I really value within you. Like, you look forward. You keep trying to look for more. Like I said earlier, guys, up and coming jeweler. We're going to be getting together with MD Jewels in the future right now with my boy Mo. Also a fucking hustler to the bone, man.
Yeah.
Big entrepreneur.
Part of the reason why I got with him, because I knew the type of like energy that he brought.
Yeah, surround yourself
that's
with
what
people.
I needed around me too. So, and I knew that's what he needed around him too. So it was just right. It felt right.
Man, and I mean, most of you guys probably know Castro. That's what we call him as. And I mean, local guy, been growing up here around Marietta, Atlanta area. And I mean, just been overall towards like meeting him just in that like time period that we've had together. Like, I feel like we made a good connection so far, man.
We have. I think we hit it off as soon as we started talking, having a conversation. Because that's why I was excited about this. Because that moment we had a first conversation, I'm like, damn. You challenge like my way of thinking sometimes, and I like that shit's dope. So it's always a blast.
That's the whole point. Perspective is going to be changed sometimes, but I mean for the good. Don't ever change for nothing that you don't believe in, man.
Yeah. But it's also good to hear the perspective that other people have sometimes, because sometimes we get so caught up in the shit that we got going on in our head. We're like, oh, this is how it is. But sometimes we don't take the time to listen to somebody else and see how they see it.
Definitely.
It's about understanding sometimes,
So right now, this point in your life, this is kind of like maybe we can say the most recent challenge you've put in your life right now. More of like your focus into this career path.
Yeah, just trying to challenge myself a little more, really, just because, I've always had the thought in my head of doing this and trying to get more like of myself into that work. But it's always been something like I've been planning. And then you told me one time, it's like planning is the worst phase, because if you get stuck in that phase, you stuck in there. I
mean, I always tell people, like, just me always overthinking the planning of this. It took me probably like longer than it should have. Yeah. And I mean, once I really get down to it, it's just doing it, man. Like right now, like setting up today's date. Like, yes, you got to give up some part of the middle of the day. You got to give up some time. But you're not really giving it up. You're investing in. You're putting it into something you believe in, and it's going to pay off later. Yeah,
it's kind of more to put myself out there too. I'm trying to get myself out there, get my brand, something that I could create for myself, basically. And then even now too, like I know that there'll be sacrifice moments where I have to be like, if somebody calls me, hey, I need an IV, or like I need it at this location, I need this many people. If I have something to do, if I want that to go my way, that I have to take that time and just go towards doing that and kind of put aside whatever plans I may have for myself, So that's another thing that, I'm kind of getting used to, but I'm also getting used to like putting myself a lot more first.
Nice. That's good. What I always tell people that like in self growth, you got to realize that like you said, you come first, because if the machine doesn't work, the whole operation's over. Yeah. Kaput. You're not gonna move forward. So whenever people are like, no, like I don't have time to even pay attention to therapy, or like, like self-guided books of like overthinking. Like when you're on YouTube, man, like I've learned a lot through YouTube, and you realize that maybe it's not the most entertaining information, but once you click that, you input that
knowledge,
these people who literally dedicate their lives to self-betterment,
knowledge,
they're giving away free game, man.
They know what they're talking about.
And it's not that like, oh, because I, saw how many followers they had, or, like they I don't know, they have so much money, or it's just people that like have put their time, have put like their life, to dedicate it to that. and I feel like that shouldn't go, overlooked. So definitely, I think that's one big thing is making sure you're good, so the rest of your life is good, making sure your health is good.
You can't ever help anybody if you don't help yourself. You know?
Exactly.
If you're not in a good position to help somebody, how are you ever gonna want to help somebody? And that's how I looked at it too. I was always stuck in this like phase of, I want to help my parents to have more, to do more, whatever the case may be. But I'm like, I put so much time into that. I could have been working on myself in that time. So I would have been at the level or a higher level that I'm at now, and then been able to help them now. But that's, I mean, it's part of life. You live and you learn a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people are like, man, sometimes you guys like want to, younger cats, you guys want to move too fast. You want to explore. The only thing I see that it's good for that is at least you're doing it, because you could just be fucking off the whole time. People take their 20s too not as serious, not even like too unserious. Like it's not as serious that maybe we should be looking at. And so we're here at the step. I looked at it again. Fuck.
Stop looking at it.
Right now in me, I have injected what, Mr. Castro?
Oh, yeah. So basically, you got this Wellness Myers. Our Wellness Myers is made up of zinc, mag chloride, vitamin C, B12, and B complex, which is a mixture of B vitamins. I think it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
And let's say compared to this, what's the difference between me going to get like a liquid IV or, a body armor or a Gatorade?
It's the way that it gets in your system, really. The way that your gut is going to process and absorb those nutrients that you're getting through your stomach is going to be way different than you would getting it straight through your veins. So like your veins, you got to understand that's immediate. You know what I'm saying? That's going straight into the system already. So your body starts to feel it.
My crackheads, y'all know what you talking about.
But that's why some people come in here, and by the way, we were last year's hangover cure of the year. So if y'all ever have a hangover, come get that hangover rescue from us. That definitely will bring you back to life. That's why so many people come and get it though, because that relief is so instant after that cruda.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Échate un menudo y sales like bien empachado. But right here, you come and hit this. Man, you better go hit it.
You only gonna have to go pee, but besides that,
that's crazy. No, and so like, how is this so accessible now? Like, I feel like back in the day, you had to go to a hospital to be like this, right?
Yeah. I think it's because they made the laws. They keep getting better, to where you give the wellness people a little bit more leeway in how they do things. Back then they were a lot more strict because it's like, damn, it's concerns that you have as far as like being out there outside of the hospital setting or clinic setting, but technically you're in a clinic now,
Yeah, that's
why they hire professionals to take care of the clients.
Definitely, this is very up to par, like state of the art facility, and it's very clean.
And we're improving. We're still improving. We're still got a lot of things planned for the year. So that's one thing that me and Steph spoke about. She's my employer now. Great lady. Again, we talked about her earlier. You got to do a podcast with her too. She's amazing. But yeah, her vision, man, for everything is just so big, and I'm glad I came across her because she's like expanded my mind, my way of thinking too. Like, don't think this small, you can think bigger. Like, why be okay with this much if you can go higher? You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I'm appreciative about her, and she's teaching me. So I'm glad that I kind of came across her. I mean, there was a point where I was like, dang, should I just go ahead and try this alone? But really, I thought about it, and I was like, you need somebody that's doing it sometimes, You need to have that guidance, because that's how you make less mistakes, For me, it's always been minimize the mistakes. I know I'm going to make them because it's part of you doing it. But for me, the main concern has always been minimize them. So I knew that if I stick with her and she, just staying there longer, I think I'm gonna learn some good stuff.
The way that you're going about it, I think, is the way that I feel like has helped me get better at things. Is when you can humble yourself enough to be coachable. Yeah. Don't let people tell you what to do exactly all the time. Like, you can be misguided, definitely.
Yeah.
But let yourself be coachable. Shut the fuck up. And if somebody's shown that they've done something. That's my dad used to always tell me, man. Like, if somebody's telling you something, just shut the hell up and listen. Like, stop being so hard-headed.
Especially with somebody that has the stuff that you would want to have.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Go, like they say, go find the person that's doing what you want to do. And then listen. And I think that's great, because I feel like that's what a lot of people, they want to learn, but they have so many restraints on themselves that no, it's because I see it this way, like
it's our ego.
It's
our ego, man.
And I mean, you find that, I mean, it's even abundant in many entrepreneurs, but sometimes, like I said, it blinds you. It blinds you because you can miss a great opportunity.
But it's like you said, everybody wants everything so quick. Everybody wants everything now or like tomorrow. It's like it's a process. That jewelry, like I did not get a sale in that jewelry until probably 6-7 months in. That's like after I was like official, after he made me official. But he kept telling me like and I knew the type of work you had to put in. But I didn't get a sale till like 7 months in. And I'm not talking like a big sale. It's just like some little sale.
Just a sale.
Yeah, like something like a pendant. This is like a small pendant. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing big. But once you get that first one, you feel good about it. And once you get that first one, you be like, man, I can do it again. I could do it again. I could do 3 this time, or I could do a bigger piece this time. So it's that's a fun part about it too. You get to see yourself grow. You get to see yourself what's next. And I think that's become a big part of me. Like what's next? Like,
yeah, definitely. So right here, before we move, I want to get to like all the other stuff you do because you just have a lot of talents, bro.
Yeah, man. I try to be like. I try to have my hand in a little bit of everything because I like to have a wide variety of knowledge, not just mentally but physically. Know how to do things and all that. But that's just how I am, man.
That's awesome. And right here, so with Hydra Plus, like what else do you guys offer? What else are you guys looking at?
Oh yeah, so the company itself, it's not just IV hydration. So one of the other things that we do is like weight management. So like weight loss. You heard like Ozempic and Manjaro and all that stuff. So yeah, we do offer all that stuff here. But ours is a semaglutide and tirzepatide. Steph, again, she's the head lady and all that. But yeah, we have a lot of clientele in that as well. We also do offer like facials, red light therapy, fat cavitations,
Damn.
Yeah.
Red light therapy, that's become also more popular. Like how
I've
effective
seen
is
more
it?
of that. I'm sorry?
How effective is it?
I mean, I don't do that side of it, but from the feedback that I be getting from these clients that come in, or like when they say that I really enjoy doing it, they say it works. Like I always take it from the clients that do it. I don't ever try to guess or whatever or see what they think.
It's also like going to a new Indian restaurant. You gotta listen to what the reviews are.
Exactly.
That's the way it would go.
Yeah.
And so in this part of the business that you're trying to explore, like what's been kind of like your challenge so far?
Doing it. Right? Doing it. It's really just that. Because I have so many. Again, like we spoke, I have a lot of plans for the mobile side of it. Now the in-house stuff, I have so many clients that still come see me that enjoy like coming into the store and getting their IVs done by me.
I'm enjoying
whatever the case. Yeah, you sure started enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest challenge is just doing it.
I'm about to pass out, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just been the biggest challenges because like one of the things that I have planned out is like we plan on doing like pop-ups.
Nice.
So like for example, Atlanta United soccer games coming up, that they do the tailgates and all, just stand out there, set up my tent, get stuff done because you gotta put yourself out there. That's just how I'm doing it. But that's been the only challenge is actually getting it together and doing it.
Now I'm curious, in the Atlanta United, in the name of like cleanliness, like how sanitation wise, how would you do it?
Well, I would keep everything in like basically sterile supplies. So all the stuff that we have is going to be sterile. So all my needles, all my stuff, I'll use gloves, make sure that everything is cleansed. The site is cleaned evenly or whatever the case may be. But I know that will be like a
questionable. Like my question is just like you're outside, you're sweating, like but you guys have like the process to like take care of all that.
You got to make sure you always clean the site is
nice.
Good. And then these Tegaderms that we use, you got to see how they have a seal all the way around it too. Once you come out of that, then you remove it, and that's with the Coban. The Coban is that stretchy one. It's like tight seal around the whole thing.
Nice. Yeah. That's great, dude. And I mean, so far, so good. I did like that you did one with a fellow podcaster. He was on an episode with us. Not fellow podcaster, but fellow PepTalks Podcast. Guest Esteban.
Yeah.
I like that
Esteban's cool.
He gave his personal opinion and like actual like details, bro. Like,
I really appreciated that from him. He shout out to Esteban and his wife. They really enjoyed their services. I'm glad they did. But yeah, I was really happy with his review from that, and that's what I wanted. I told him honestly, like just let me know what you think, and then whatever you think about it, I'll honestly review. And yeah, man, it works. Like based on my experience, I know it works. Based on the other clients' experience, I know it works. But some people, sometimes it's you got to just put it there for them to realize it. And he loved it, so I was real happy with that, man.
Nice, dude. That and with like right now when you're thinking about the new stuff, this all kind of also stemmed from you using your past. You were an EMT, right?
Yeah. So I started off my whole career as in medical point blank period as a basic EMT.
Damn. So how old were you when you got into that?
I want to say, hold on, I've been this 21.
Nice.
21, 22 probably.
Were you in school for that, and that's what you were doing something else?
Nah, I was actually in construction at that time.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
I was in construction, and I had been in construction for 2 years. And the only reason I got into construction was because of a family issue that happened, and I had to basically stop what I was doing and go help my family out, basically. So that's how I got into construction. So I was like, I kind of gave up what I had to do and what I was trying to do in that moment. And then I went and helped, and it was only supposed to be like a 6-month thing, but it turned into a 2-year thing. And then one time I was driving, and then I seen the signs for the school for this. And I was just like, and I was doing construction at the time, and I just drove by, and something told me, just go back, just check it out. Because I had been talking to myself that day, or I think that week or that day, about going back to school and trying to do something like the medical field, like I always wanted to do. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me see if they offer anything medical wise. So I was like, I hit a U-turn, and I went back to the school, and I went in there, and I was just asking about information, because it was a new school. I lived in the area the whole time, Smyrna,
Yeah.
So I was all right, let me go check it out. I think that same day I signed up for that course,
That's
the
crazy.
EMT course. And I was like, that's crazy. And I didn't have no change to the side. I wasn't saving. Well, I was saving up. I ain't gonna lie.
But you had other objectives. You had other mindsets.
Yeah. That wasn't the main thing that I was trying to do. But then I knew that the medical field was eventually what I wanted to do. But I just wasn't in that headspace.
You see, you didn't planning sometimes could get out of the way.
Exactly.
Throw yourself into it.
Man.
I mean, you gotta take educated guesses. You gotta take those moderated risks every now and then. Obviously, you're not gonna go and throw it all on red, right? But fuck it. If you feel like you have something within you that can create the opportunity and really execute.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like sometimes we doubt ourselves too much, man. I've doubted myself plenty of times. And I feel like, and I see the remorse that I keep within myself when you're like, fuck, bro. The time period that I thought I was going to take, I'm already here.
Yeah.
Time will pass.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what people forget. That doesn't matter what you do. Those 5 years will still be 5 years.
Yeah.
You're going to be there.
Yeah.
Just what side do you want to be? What side of history do you want to be?
Yeah, it's the work.
And that's why doing things on your own, trying out any preneur that you want to follow, it's not always gonna be the best. You're not always gonna have money. You're not always gonna have healthcare. You're not always gonna. But at the same time, I saw a video where they kind of try to show what corporate America is to somebody who just got out of college, and it's a guy who's sit in the square, and I'll pay you, and you leave at 5:30. And he does it. The square gets a little bigger. He gets maybe a nicer view, but it's still standing in the square till 5:30. Then he's old, and he's like, "Here's your pay," and I'd like to retire now. He's like, "Okay, you can go." But this guy is completely old now.
Yeah, it's too late. He done wasted the majority of his life sitting at that office. Yeah,
I'm not saying that there's no honor in having a good job. Obviously, work and do what. Sometimes you got to put yourself aside, and you got to do what you got to do.
We just forget to enjoy life, man.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big things for me too. I think I forgot to enjoy life. I was so stuck on
But even then, now this is enjoying it because at least you got to work. You got.
No.
So you're doing.
But it's something that I like. It's something that is something I'm good at because I am a good IV tech, bro. I don't miss veins. That's just the confidence I have. And then,
I can't feel my arm right now.
Yeah, but that's because it's just him. It's not me. I ain't do nothing wrong with him. But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. It's something I really enjoy doing. So sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm working. But me, I'm somebody that likes to move around. I don't like to be in the same spot.
Yeah.
So it goes back to that. That's why I chose mobile. I can move around. I can go where I want. I can come to people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people don't want to leave the comfort of their area, their home, whatever the case may be. You're too sick to even go anywhere. That's what we for.
No, and I think that's also that's something I'm saying, this is a whole different process for me. I feel for a lot of people. It seems too out of reach, but now it looks more and more accessible by the day. Even mobile calls, house calls. I mean, you would hearing that for like barbers, maybe or nail techs, but you know, hey, let me go get your IPA.
Get hydrated.
That sounds fucking lit, bro.
Get vitamins replenished.
Yeah, like in that service, like what would you kind of like? How would that process go of me booking you for that service?
So with me now, the way that we're doing it now, if you do it through the store, it's gonna be regular price. If you do it through me, you kind of get a deal. Just because me and Steph spoke, we had that good level of confidence. So she let me decide what all those things were, to where we could still, you know, be beneficial for it. So if you do it through me, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll give you guys all that information towards the end. Follow my Instagram. You can book me through my Instagram, or I will be having some business cards coming out soon with my phone number and contact information and all that. I'll be updating the business page as well. So right now for me, if you want to book me specifically and get the deals and rates that I got, then you would just contact me through Instagram. Or if you know me personally, just hit my phone if you have my number, you know.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe even right now, I mean, you've been posting and you do good content on it. Yeah. But this is new. Maybe somebody doesn't know this part of you yet.
Yeah, and I figured that. I realized that. I'm like, it's not gonna be something that's, you know, it's like anything else. It's gonna slowly but surely, people gonna notice. They're gonna see it. Somebody's gonna need it someday. You know.
But what's crazy is that like you can connect this to like maybe a client when you saw them a piece. You know, Julie, like, hey, I also do this.
I actually do that a lot here.
No, but they trust you enough that anything you put your name on, they trust.
Absolutely, yes.
And that's a big thing to people. Yeah. They want to be able to like
credibility.
That's
another thing I'm working towards. You want to have that credibility where people are like, oh, him. Yeah, I'll let him stick me anytime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pause.
And with I like that you like listed the services and everything.
Yeah.
With being an AMT, what's like a crazy story that you had? Like that you were like, fuck. Something that you could share. Obviously don't go too deep.
It's so many, bro. Like there's so many that I remember so vividly, but there's one that I always tell is about a gentleman that was in a car accident. He got hit by another drunk driver. This was like early in the morning. I'm talking 6 a.m.
Ooh.
He got hit, and needless to say, he went into a pole with his car. And I guess the way that the side hit his side door, he was very trapped, so we couldn't get him out. But it was a very bad crash, and he was conscious at that moment. But yeah, he slowly lost consciousness and slowly basically died on us. So we couldn't get him out, for one, which was an issue. So we had to wait for the firefighters to get there to cut the top off. By the time they got there, started to cut the top off, or were about to cut the top off, you know, with their special equipment. He went out. So basically, he went into cardiac arrest, so he died. For people who don't know, cardiac arrest means, you'd be surprised. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So no, I'm not laughing at the situation. You know,
I know.
But anyways, yeah. At that moment, as soon as they got there, that's when he went into cardiac arrest. And at that moment, we knew that, because I was right in front of him and I saw him, like, he was his driver's seat and I was in the passenger seat, and there was another firefighter behind him and had the door open. The only one we couldn't get open is his door.
That's crazy.
And he was trapped. Like, he was a big dude. I was saying like 230. Big dude, bone crusher.
That's like me.
Yeah. What? You 230? Nah, then he was like 300. Nah, but it was difficult because he was real trapped. He was really trapped in there, and he looked over at me as soon as they were about to put the blanket, because they're about to cut the top off. And he was telling me, he was just looking at me, and then slowly I saw his face, and he just looked me in my eyes and basically like took a deep breath and just bobbled his head down. And I'll never forget his face. That's one thing. Like, I'll never forget his face.
Damn.
I can tell you every detail of his face, bro, right now. And he went out. So at that moment, I knew I had to start doing something. And I told the rest of them, like, hey, he's going to cardiac arrest. So I started doing my compressions the best that I could from that passenger seat. And he's a big dude. You got to understand, I'm small. I'm not that like big. I'm getting bigger now. But for y'all,
eating that protein.
Just know that. Yeah. But I was doing like compressions, and again, in a like car chair, it's got a cushion. Jeez. It's hard. It's not bad. You need a real hard back surface to do like effective compressions. So
that's why they lay him on the floor.
That's why we lay him on the floor. That backboard, the hard board.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you need something firm behind them. But anyways, that's another reason why it was challenging. So that's why I felt like, damn, these aren't being effective. But then the other firefighter behind him, got behind him and started giving him air. You know, it's two effective things: compressions and airway management. But then they threw the blanket over all three of us and started cutting, and that's what we did for the. And mind you, it's hot. It's hot. It's like summer. Oh my god! This is summer. It's early in the morning, summer.
And then you have all of that.
And
noise
I have
on
that.
top of
Yeah.
you.
And then you have that saw or whatever the hell you're doing,
crazy.
cutting it. And yeah, I think the reason that stuck with me is because he looked me in my eyes and took his last breath. And I mean, he wasn't the only one like throughout my career, but I think those are the ones that really stick with you a little bit more. That's what made it hard towards the beginning. My very first one was bad. Yeah.
How are you dealing with it? Like, have you ever had to deal with something like that long term, like mental health wise, or you've been pretty good on that?
I think towards the beginning, yeah, because you like, you know, I was
it's new,
scared 21, 22-year-old. Like,
that seems young too, man.
I learned everything in class, but ain't nothing in class like the real thing.
Yeah, like how does that? How can I even be like maybe stimulated or like that feeling like when you're in training? Is there any under pressure like tactics they use on you guys?
No.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think they can't figure?
Because you can't replicate that. That's why.
Crazy. There has to be a way.
No, like you people think you can replicate that, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because they can put a dummy in front of you that's realistic, like a human, but you know it's not a human. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
In your mind and body, they can tell you this is your patient. They're dying from this, and this, and they can put like systems in it to where it squirts out blood or fake blood, whatever the case may be. And you can be like, and you can have a little panic moment. But they can't ever prepare you for that, but because it's you know it's not a human. This one, you know it's a human, and you know that they depend on you because you're the only one that's there to help them.
That is true.
So I think that's where the majority of the scaredness came from when you like towards the beginning, and that's why I had like a little second thought towards the beginning. But I was like, I didn't go through the schooling or this freaking hard ass test or whatever the hell it was just to not keep going. You know,
that is true.
So I stuck with it, and eventually you just get It sucks to say, but everybody in the medical field kind of gets numb to it.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's part of their job. You are the last hope they have, so you can't really. You have to put yourself aside. You become a machine at this point.
That's what they tell us, though. But it's like they tell us it sounds bad, but you have to do it because think about it this way: if I just lost this patient and I'm thinking about him, like, oh dang, I can't believe I lost this 25-year-old. He had his whole life ahead of him, and then you get another call for a 45-year-old that's dying too. Now he depends on you. If you sit and stuck thinking about the 25-year-old, you're not gonna do your job to the best ability to help this other person. So now you're gonna lose two people.
Like the whole point of, I guess I'm not, speaking for you guys, but to get in the medical field is for the better man, right?
What do you mean?
Like just for help, like to help anybody, to be able to like save people or whatever they need, like bring aid to them.
For me, yeah, I think it was, but that's the thing. That's a difficult question to ask. Why'd you get into the medical field? They always ask. No. They always ask. No, that's what I'm saying. They always asked us that. No matter where we went, like whatever job I went to, they always asked the interview, whatever. Why'd you get into the medical field? It's a very hard question. It's a very hard question to answer. But our main question is always going to be to help people, But realistically, some people is just like
financial gain.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's respectable though. I mean, everybody chooses a path because they know what could be at the end of it. And I'm not dissing it.
But then it's like a reality check though. If you pick the right path, there's gonna be a reality check. Because for me, it was always like, let me see how I can help or what I can do in the medical field. For me, it was more the curiosity of the medical field. Okay. I wanted to know more about the medical field. So I think that's what it was for me mainly. But I think the more I got into it, the more I enjoyed it. Not the first 2 months, obviously, but I think the more I got into it, the more I enjoyed it. Because you see what the good you can do. It's not just bad, It's not just this person died on me or this person died on me. It's I saved him. He's alive because of me. She still has her mother. Blah, stuff like that.
Bro, that's honorable shit, man. Because like I couldn't possibly like comprehend that sometimes. How people do this shit. How they see all of this I watch those doctor shows every now and then, and you're like, people do this every day. Yeah. But then, it's
not normal.
No, but it's even more like you got to realize that it wasn't easy to get to where they are either.
Yeah, facts.
Like the fact that you can see all that blood, all that, all of that, like, you know, those accidents, they just bring a lot of like negative emotions, negative feelings, and for you to like be full headspace that like I'm here to. It's a power, bro. It's a superpower.
I have my visions in my head about the body parts I've seen that are not supposed to be outside your body.
And I feel like that's just crazy to be able to just run into the stuff.
Well, at some point I basically looked at it like we're just all pieces of meat, bro.
That's crazy too.
Like what's inside really matters. We're all pieces of meat, brother. Like this is just
it could go
pieces of meat,
it
bro.
could be gone.
This arm could be gone in 2.5 seconds. Yeah,
that's crazy.
We used to walk into the ER with people's foot in our hand.
Oh, don't say
yeah.
that.
You wanted to know, bro.
Like the shoe.
You done? Yeah,
I'm done.
Like the boot. Yeah.
Oh, guys, there's still a needle in my arm, a plastic tube or whatever you want to call it. We're going to take a break, but I'm just moving right here. We're going to get Castro to get this out of my arm. I'm about to pass out, guys. Yeah. Both of those actions hurt.
They say the needle coming out hurts more.
You did not prepare me for that.
Hey, y'all, don't let this stop y'all from getting heavy.
Don't.
He's exaggerating. I promise y'all it's not that bad. You're gonna like make me lose class.
Nah, man, I'm just not that good with needles, man. Never really been. But I pass out.
Nah, you good.
All right, man. No, we're back, guys. Wow, I don't think I'm gonna cut this out. This is the truth.
Yeah.
And so right now, I don't want to, use too many of the power hitter questions that I have for the MD podcast. But I definitely think that's, it's great that you're trying that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're gonna do great. I mean, I've already seen you in action, at the club.
I'm everywhere with it, man.
Everywhere, man.
It's just I see it like you got to make an opportunity anywhere you go, because there's an opportunity anywhere you go.
That is true. And then so with that, like how did you even find the time to even get into that? Starting on the
jewelry
stuff, yeah,
or the jewelry. Oh, I don't know. I think that just happened naturally the way it was supposed to. Because my boy Mo, shout out Mo,
shout out.
We gonna do the episode with him. He was just going through some other stuff with his other like current business partner that he had at that time, because he's been in it way longer than me. I think I got 2 years on it. Well, year and a half. He's got 5.5, 6 years. So he was already doing it for a while before I even stepped foot in there. But I guess he had a little falling out with his previous partner. And I mean, I didn't know the details about it throughout that time, but I knew that he was going through that. And then based on his posts and stuff like that, he disassociated himself from that jewelry group and then created his own one. When I saw he created his own one, I was like, well, it's by himself, so let me see if he needs some help. At that point, I was just in my head at that time, I was like, man, I need more, like I need to do more. I need more money. You need to
diversify your portfolio.
Yeah. I was like, I'm good with the medical field and I like it, but I was like, I want to do something else, And I just kind of gravitated to him. I knew the type of hustle he had. So I was like, that's somebody I would want to work with. So I kind of just mentioned it to him. He's like, right away, he was like, yeah. He was like, if you want to come do it, just know it's not going to be a walk in the park. But I already knew that,
But it's to the saying, like, always get in on the ground floor. And I feel like that's a good way. Like, find when people are starting it. Yes, it's a leap, but when everybody's driven, that hunger in the beginning, but that move mountains,
Yeah, what's interesting is I joined his company when he first started it. So like when he broke off from the other jewelry company and he went made an MD Jewels, that's when I joined. So me and his company been around the same time.
You see that what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be those, like hopefully it turns into the the enterprise you guys wish for it to be. And I mean it's gonna feel good that you're like, at least I put my
we have a lot of things coming. We have a lot of things planned. It's not just me and him. People think it's just me and him, but it's other people behind the scenes that are still doing some work for us too. As far as like selling, it is me and him, but like you need a team, like you know about that. You need a fucking team. Yeah. And that's what we have. And I think we have a solid team. And I think like this year is going to be a good year for us. And it already has, honestly, it already has. Like the amount of jewelry we're moving is been decent, man. Like,
what's something that kind of made you like surprised about the industry that you didn't even think of, or you didn't really like prepare for? Maybe
the jewelry industry.
Yeah.
A lot.
Like, because I didn't know the one thing that stuck out to you in the beginning that you were like, what the fuck? I didn't know I had to encounter this. Do you think it put a test to your social skills?
Oh yes, 100%. I think that was probably one of the harder things too, because this one, and that's another reason I'm appreciative of Mo and all that, because he gave me this opportunity, because it allowed me to grow in my confidence. The way I put myself out there, the way that I talk to people, the way that I try to just link with people and communicate with them and just lock in with them, so that in the future, if they do need you, and trust me, somebody will need you again in the future, even if they don't need you in that moment, even making a contact with them, or even, making yourself known to them, like, hey, this is what I do. Okay, so now they have that idea floating in their head, like, dang, jewelry. If I ever need something, who do I know? Don't I know a jeweler? Oh, there he is. So that's another thing that I did get, is a lot of confidence. But one thing that was like real shocking to me was the quality of the diamonds that some people say they had but didn't really have.
Hey man, that all of that Fusroisi shit, man, it's getting they're getting good at it. They're getting good.
No, there's some good quality fake diamonds out there, and there's nothing wrong with it. We sell moissanite pieces, we sell lab, we sell natural, we sell it all. People think we just do one thing. No, we do everything. We do gold, silver, all of it. Whatever you need, we got it. If we don't got it, 9 times out of 10, we can get it.
That is the crazy part, that now it's just evolutionized into a whole different market than what it used to be. It used to be that small, like the portfolio what you could sell, which was just gold. And even then, like, I don't think, how old is rose gold? Is it old? But it's an old school way, or like it's been used for like a good amount of years, or
rose gold
okay.
Yeah. The way to mix gold, I mean, they've always they're always gonna experiment with that shit. So I think that's where you also get your 10 karat gold, 14 karat gold, 24 karat.
That's also just crazy that somehow, some way they found.
Well, sometimes people come up to you and be like, yeah, this is 11 karat gold. 11. They come out with this? Or like some crazy number, so it's like, I know it's fake. If that's what you're telling me, I know it's fake off the bat. I've gotten good at like figuring out what's fake and what's not. I think that's another skill that I picked up, but that takes time.
That's kind of like being able to read minds too.
Yeah.
You're at the club and you're like,
yeah, that's fake, my boy. Stuff like that. But I think everything that he taught me was about diamonds and pricing and all that stuff, because sometimes you can shoot yourself in the foot with the way you price somebody. Like, say, for example, and that's why one of the hardest things for me at that time was pricing, or like giving a quote to somebody for like a custom piece or something, and I would make them wait a little bit longer than what I was supposed to, because I was consulting Mo. I'm like, dang, how do I go about pricing this? And obviously he was teaching me, he was helping me throughout that process. But now I'm glad to say I can do it on my own independently whenever I need it. And now he has that trust in me. Like, hey, whenever he prices, I know he's going to price at the right, to where we will both get paid.
Again, it's just being able to be coachable, learn from people that are already doing it. And then obviously after that, you make it your own style. You know, everybody has their own way about going things, but learn what you're selling, learn what you're doing, and then put your touch into it. Don't try to do it like your way, my way, or the highway type shit.
One thing he did teach me was, one thing I'm grateful to for him, is that he kind of let me do my thing. Like, he wasn't on my back. He was like,
no training wheels.
He taught me, but he was like, if you're going to make mistakes, you're going to make them. And I did make some mistakes, quoting mistakes, it cost me a little bit of money, or I didn't make any money, or whatever the case may be. But, he's like, well, that's why I told you, this is why this, that. But he allowed me to make those mistakes so that I could, he didn't let me make big mistakes, because obviously it's going to cost both of us. But he allowed me to do my thing and just kind of figure it out, because he knew that's what I had to do too.
Hell yeah.
Part of it is him helping me, but it's not a big part of it.
Also, take into consideration, a lot of people aren't willing to take a chance on people. So the fact that he did that, he saw something in you that was like, at least this guy's not a dumb.
He actually gave 2 of us a chance.
At least he's not a complete dumbass. 85% maybe.
He actually gave 2 of us a chance. It was me and another guy.
And who made it out?
And the other guy, I think after like the second week, he stopped going. But I mean, everybody, I think he figured out it wasn't for him, and that's cool. At some point, I started to think it wasn't for me, but I was like I said, it's kind of like with everything else. I was like, if I started this, I gotta finish it.
I feel like you're always gonna have a gravitational force to something that is for you, and whether you want to leave it or not, it's gonna keep pulling at you. The same thing with me in the construction. I've run into the same wall where you're just like, maybe I've given it enough try, but some way, somehow, something is just pulling you. Like, nope. It's like they say, like that. There's like the little diagram, and it's that the diamond miner. And he gives up and he's walking away, and he's like one hit away from getting to that diamond. I think that's the only thing. Obviously, like I've said this before. Like I guess there might be a time where you gotta know when to quit. Yeah. But man, you gotta have already tried plan A, B,
C,
C,
D.
D.
Yeah.
You got to be at Z, you know.
People think if plan A don't work, that's it.
That's it.
It's not. It don't go like that.
It takes time. It takes failure. It takes, because all of those are going to be tools that you acquire along the way.
And that's why I'm happy for some of my like failures and mistakes and whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, I learned from it.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing you can take from it. People don't understand. It's the lesson.
The thing I tell people is just, if you don't learn from the mistake, you did the wrong.
Exactly.
You're the
idiot.
Common denominator.
You're the idiot.
So yeah, I always tell people that. Like that's literally what it said. An idiot is somebody who's doing the same thing, thinking there's gonna be a different conclusion. Insanity. That's what it is.
It's a definition of insanity.
It's doing the same thing over, thinking there's gonna be a different result or outcome.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so right now, like I said, in the jewelry, there's, you know, a lot of feng shui. You know, there's little movements around everything, right?
Yeah.
But
it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust an independent jeweler. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Well, yeah. People don't. Now think about it. You got Icebox and you got us. Who you gonna think is more credible?
Honestly,
exactly.
I wouldn't shy away from going from a shop to a private.
Yeah, but see,
at least I got to pinpoint somebody.
Because most people don't even realize that though. Like the supplies that or the diamonds, the gold, whatever they're getting it from the same place we're getting it.
Exactly.
But they're just putting a name on it, and you guys are paying a higher price for the name. You're not paying for the piece. I'm telling you that now.
I promise you, people probably go to Icebox. And not to knock them off, because they probably started from the bottom too. You know?
Yeah.
But they probably go there not only to...
Not saying anything's wrong with Icebox, by the way. I'm not, you know...
No. But I know that there is like you can get a bag from LV for like three bands, or from a private store that probably uses the same or better leathers, and they're selling it for like $300. It's still a good bag.
Yeah.
They're making money.
Yeah.
They're just not making the money those fuckers are making, you know? It all depends on the branding, but... You know, shout out to Icebox and them. I know you guys at one point. Are you gonna get there? MD Jewels is gonna get up.
Yeah. We're planning on getting there too. So you know, right now we're a small shop in the Mart in Atlanta. But me and him have spoke about, you know, other things.
But I get what you're saying, and I mean that just goes into like I said, when you have a belief in creating the name, you're gonna be you're gonna be at that position. You guys will be, but it's like the timing. It takes a little bit of time. You gotta. I mean, you want to take over the city. You can't just. You know, you got to start block by block. You know.
Yeah, and that's a good part about having a good team too, because we keep each other in check when, you know, whenever you feel like this is something that you got to do, and we're like, hey, bro, it's not time yet. You know, we got to wait a little bit longer just because we don't have this situated, and that's where it goes. And sometimes it becomes hard because you got to separate the business from the friendship. Because me and him are tight. I mean, that's my dog. We go back from all the way to high school and stuff, but. We sometimes get in that headspace where we have to separate that friendship for that business, because we have to talk like, hey, we got to figure this out and stuff like that. So, but me and him do a really good job at that. So that's one thing I'm like grateful to. It's easy to communicate with him. It's easy to get things done with him. You know, if we talk about something, we know that we ain't got to worry about it again, and we're done. Now we can move forward. So
I definitely see that within my business partner, my cousin Steven, that you know, some people have seen us. Obviously, you guys seen us talk outside of, you know, joking and shit. But I've had people sit in on meetings where me and her are having, and they see the serious of it. Like they see that we switch up, and you know, we call each other out a lot on a lot of shit. And I feel like only then can you really call them not only your partner but a brother, like, because you're not afraid of like, hey, I'm not doing this out of malice. I'm doing this because
I care.
And we both fucking failed and you failed. You know?
Exactly.
So it's like, I definitely can get back behind on that. Like, you have to learn to separate emotions and just be like, look, I'm not here to bust your balls on this shit. Like, I just need this to work. You need this to work. And if I feel like we're not going to go down the right path, I got to at least say something. Yeah,
because it affects both of you too.
Exactly.
You know, it affects both of you.
But that takes balls too. That takes fucking balls from both sides to be able to take it and to say it.
Yeah. For sure. But it goes back to that level of respect that you have for each other. You know, if you don't have that level of respect for each other, then it's never going to work the way you want it to. You got to have that respect, and you got to have that say in your head that, all right, he's telling me this because I'm doing something wrong. I stepped out of pocket, or what we got to do to fix it so it doesn't happen again. So it's not just that. It's like any relationship, bro. You know, you guys got to be able to communicate, because if not, it's not going to go smoothly. You know, you want that operation to go smoothly. Y'all got to. Because if you're doing something over here and I'm doing something over here, and now it's getting in the way of conflict, so now we're screwed. You know? Yeah.
From you know, all of these celebrities, they play a big part of the jewelry game. Like, you know, baseball players, basketball players, obviously rappers. What's like what piece that you've really enjoyed seeing, like that you were like, damn, bro, that shit's actually badass?
probably one that Mo made because he's always making some fire pieces. But one of the ones that was impressive to him is this. What's impressive to me was this big like circular chain, like full of diamonds. And I think we had an issue with that piece though. I can't remember what it was, but we had an issue with the quote on that one. The quote on that one was crazy.
I don't even know how
the quote on that one was crazy, but you believe it or not, we didn't make a dime. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. But that was a mistake on I guess you could say our other associates, because the calculations that they gave us wasn't accurate for us to make an accurate, like, I guess quote. So yeah, we ended up losing.
But again, now you know. The crazy part is that you could make that piece. Isn't that like
he's made this CY piece. It's like a big C and a big Y right next to it. That's a rose gold natural diamonds VVS, man. That piece was shining. He's made a few pieces for a few rappers too. Rag Baby had 2 pieces made from us. Yeah, he had 2 pieces, and his mom had a piece made
Gucci
too.
Mane's art label too, right? He's done some of their rappers.
Yeah. Forgiano, he's done Forgianos before. Yeah.
Back in the day, way before.
He's done a few things with a few rappers, man. A few athletes as well. He just doesn't post all of it, man.
Some people don't really need want you to know.
He's got that credibility though. Shout out to Mo, bro. I'm telling you, he's got that credibility.
I've definitely seen the way he's been moving, man. You guys just find different ways to just step up, and that's fucking awesome.
Like I said, and that's where the confidence came from me and him, from him to me actually. He gave me that he was like, bro, you gotta like put yourself out there, because he noticed right away. He was like, you gotta be a little bit more active on your social media. You gotta be a little bit this, that, and other. And I could see it, and I'm like, yeah, I know I have to. He's like, but if you know, why are you not doing it? You know what I'm saying?
It's because it's scary. It's scary to like, what if it doesn't go the way you think?
But it's scary to put yourself out there, because sometimes people are scared. What is this person, or what are these people out there? Or what are they gonna say? Who the fuck cares?
Who the fuck cares?
At some point, you got to say, who the fuck cares? Because you know what? Somebody does care. And somebody is going to be like, cool, I need to go to
But
him.
you have to realize and really be able to analyze who matters. Like, who really matters to you. And
you got to target them.
And then, like, figure out yourself first, so then you know who's even, like, able to judge you.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, sometimes you got to be able to take some judgment, That's like somebody seeing it from the outside perspective. You always need to have that. But just who? Yeah, I'm not going to listen to just the only Bo Bundy.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, like, I got to go and, like, be able to, like, this person is telling me this. Again, it's not out of malice. It's not out of hate. It's just because they know my potential.
Yeah. And
they see where I can go.
It's easy to see it from outside, but you got to step outside your body and look at yourself. That's the only way. That's why I did that. When he told me, like, and when I did some self-reading, like, what are those called? Those self-love readings? What the fuck is it called? Self-improvement?
Affirmations?
Nah.
Self-improvement
reading, like books and stuff like that. Yeah. Till I started reading books like that.
I think I told this to Manny a couple nights ago when we said, it sucks to realize you're a bad person in your own light. Like, sometimes you realize you're like, fuck, I'm a shitty person. And it's not even the people. Sometimes it's to yourself. Yeah. Like, man, I did this knowing that it's going to fuck me up.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Or like when you sit there and you evaluate your choices. Like, I really did
What'd
this.
You say? What did you say?
Yeah.
But I feel like that only then you crack that. Yeah. Like, okay, now I know.
I was reading a book, Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself.
I think I've never heard. I'm not.
That book. I read that book. That's what made me like start locking in. Honestly, bro. After that book, I'm like, my positivity has gone up. Every time I catch myself being mad or like frustrated in traffic or something, I catch myself and I change it.
Yeah.
Because even that little bit of like being mad in traffic, it's like you gonna fuck yourself up more.
I started like remembering to breathe too.
Breathing.
I get so tense at times that you're just like.
Take me into sensei mode in a bit, bro. You talk about breathing.
Yeah, and there's a lot more, to it. I've actually started listening to it's called On Purpose by Joe Shetty. He used to be a monk. He actually went and lived to be a monk like around like in his 20s, I think. Yeah. Almost 30s. And he did a couple years and he became more of like, self-betterment. Yeah. And now that podcast, he brings on people who study all types of like the human like form of like thinking. There's this really good doctor. I mean, somebody that I really enjoy listening, especially for like dealing with traumas, with with dealing with, you know, your childhood
I
anxiety.
think we all have an issue with that, bro.
His name is Dr. Gabo Mate.
Gabo Mate.
And like, just, you know, like listening to people that like are telling you why. Like, this dude, the most soft-spoken man.
They give you the recipe, literally give you the recipe.
But you know what's crazy is that I love about like that on a podcast he had it with Theo Von. He asked him, he's like, and how are you doing now in your self-betterment? Like, you look like you've been doing great.
Yeah.
He's like, I still struggle every day.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, how? Like, he's like, that's the whole point.
Easy, yeah.
It doesn't stop. This isn't all your life type of thing. He's like, you'll never be perfect. You'll never be that, like, the perfection that you're looking for. That won't happen. You'll still run into these problems.
Yeah. If you think about it too much, you make it part of your personality.
But even then, the way that he goes about it is think with a purpose.
Yeah.
Like, go back. If you're going to go back, okay, go back, but really find that root, grab it, and get out.
Yeah.
Don't, like you said,
you got to get rid of it.
Get rid of it, or understand it and forgive it and accept it that hey, it happened. Yeah, that's the way that I like about him. He's like, I gotta realize that I gotta forgive. Like, why am I holding so much against me?
Yeah,
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you punish yourself.
You punish
the shit out of yourself.
And it's you know, like, having hate is like taking poison and expecting the other person to fucking you know, die.
Exactly.
So, and we see it as like, no, I'm keeping myself accountable. No, I need to be like a little bit hard on myself. Yeah, I absolutely believe put yourself to a challenge. Yeah, challenge yourself every day on whatever it needs to be done, even if it's shower with cold water. I always tell people, a shower with cold water will fucking humble you. Yeah, because you're like, I can't do this. I can't sit in a fucking cold water for 3 minutes. Stuff like that. It switches something in you that you're like, okay, so not everything's okay and with me, you know. Yeah. But that's why I always tell people, like, adversity, don't shy away from it. Yeah. Look forward to it. And so like in the name of, you know, better help, like self betterment, like, I definitely believe, like,
for sure,
thinking with a purpose isn't bad. Because like I said, like, if you can objectify what actually is wrong, sometimes it doesn't even seem so serious. Yeah. I'm not neglecting that people have had really bad, you know, pasts. Absolutely. And traumatic experiences. But I love that he even talks about that, the word trauma. Like, he dissects it to like how we kind of, you know, bad feelings, bad moments, we completely overjudge them and categorize them as traumatic. Yeah. And he kind of breaks it down. He gives it that hard truth again, that it's like, sometimes these things just happen. Yeah. But you guys can take it to like, different.
Like, I'm going to hold on to this for the rest of my life.
And that's the forgiving part. Yeah. That's the forgetting part. Sometimes it's harder to forget than you can say you're forgiven, but you see that person, you see that, you know, that thing happens to you again. Yeah. You see something compared to that moment that you felt, you know, that feeling.
That's what I did too. I felt like some of the younger stuff that I did, you know, because living in Mexico with my grandparents, when my parents left, I felt like that shit like fucked me up some. But it's like, really, when I looked at it and I sat there and I dissected the whole thing, I'm like, it just needed to happen. Like,
it's just part of who you are now.
I needed to go through that. I needed to be here. Like, all this is, I needed it.
But you see, now let's put that into perspective of the present. You realize that now. You noticed how bad you felt at that moment and how good you feel now. Yeah. It's part of who you are, right? And I feel like with that feeling, the next time you're faced with a harder challenge, you'll put yourself back into this. Yeah. You'll be like, I've been in bad. Yeah. I've been in places where I thought I wasn't going to get out of. And guess where I'm at? I'm out of it, right? Yeah. So I feel that's where I tell people, I was like, use that to your advantage. If you got past this place where you're just like looking up to the sky, not like, I'm not going to get past it, that next step, you got to go back to that feeling. But also go back to how you felt when you got over it. Yeah. Go to that feeling too.
That goes back to the thing where I heard is like, go back and laugh at the places you once cried.
Okay, you see that.
And that kind of reminds you of that. Because it's like, I mean, basically where you suffered, one day you're going to see like enlightenment in it, whatever the case may be. So you always got to keep some positive faith towards everything, right? Damn, and keep God in your life too.
Yeah, and so right now, like in your... With your everyday life, what's something that you feel like you've changed over the past maybe a year, you could say, a lot, or in this journey that like is tweaking you up a little bit, like pushing you to the next level?
I think my consistency that I've put forward to myself, like in anything that I do, like the gym, the going to bed early, the waking up early, like it's the stuff that, like you said, I hate doing. I hate waking up early, so I'm gonna make myself wake up early. The gym was kind of one of the things that I needed to like make myself feel a little bit better. So that's another reason that I did it. But I've gotten closer to God. I think that's
awesome.
another thing that I did. I really made it a goal this year to speak to him every day, and I've kept up with it too pretty good. You know, some days you'll have your little moments, but I think I've done a pretty good job of keeping up with the goals that I have with, you know, talking to God every day, going to church. I've been going to church a lot, you know, just giving that time and being grateful for the things. Cause it's not, you know, it's not just always prayers, or it's not just always just prayers, and it's always not just hard work. It's a little bit of both, you know.
I really
prayers work if you do.
If you do. I love that because like we've seen that a lot, and especially like me growing up in the church as well. I mean, I love that people have that much faith, you know.
Yeah.
But the fact that like you're not doing anything else but praying, like, hey, I always tell people, I'm like, yes, God gave you life, but He also gave you a choice.
Yeah.
He's not gonna do everything for you.
Yeah.
Like we can fail just as much as we can win on here, and it's up to you.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes I feel like He just guide me too, because I'm like, I'm about to do this.
Oh, He'll guide you.
Then it changes up, and I'm like, I got you. I'm gonna go this way.
He'll guide you, but it's also like how we talked about like right now recently. You know, you'll be allowed to be made mistakes.
Yeah.
You'll be allowed to really feel what failure is.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's the thing that I say with people. I'm like, don't expect them to do everything, like you said. Like, it only works if you do. And I feel like that's something we forget sometimes. Like, don't be mad when it doesn't work, but because you didn't do shit either. Like, don't be mad at him.
Yeah.
He didn't
and that's what we do. Like, dang, like you don't do this for me, or people go quick to blame him, but really it's you. They're not putting the effort.
I also sometimes feel bad because I find myself that if I pray, it's been in bad times, and I hate that I don't do it in the good times.
I think a lot of us do that, but that's another thing too that I've been working towards. You know, like whenever you feel like me, one of the things that I do now, whenever I feel good, whenever I'm having like a good morning, or I just feel like good spirited, I start to pray.
Yo nomás me persino, but I like you said, like you realize you're like you stick the moment real quick, and you're like, oh, this is cool.
But it's weird because my moments of prayers are in my car.
Yeah,
on my morning drive.
When you're by yourself.
Home. Yeah, like I'll turn the music off, and I'm like, okay, I have to give my time.
Silence is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I really tell people like silence. Even though I'm always on the phone too, I try to give myself at least a couple minutes. You know, 20 minutes. You know, just try to not think about anything. Maybe I'll go outside, un guayito or something, but you're just kind of like
bird watching.
Let me hear the nature. Yeah. Let me hear the chaos of the world, but let it be natural. Let it not be something that comes into my head
TV
or headphones. And I feel like stuff like that, like you said, like going to church, getting more spiritual, even if it's not about religion. I've actually grown up in the church, but I actually became more spiritual over time. Yeah. I don't really like have
same.
I'm not a big fan of the whole religion thing anymore, just because of like the restrictions. Yeah. That I feel like
shouldn't be there. I agree. There's definitely a lot of restrictions that religion holds that you just feel like some are obviously should be there, but other ones you're like, why is that even a thing?
And that's for them to figure out. I feel like a lot of people, you could just literally step away and still.
That's what I say. My relationship is with me and God.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's not with me. It's not with me in the church. It's with me and God. You know, I go to the church because I feel closer to Him. That's why. And I feel like if I get right in front of there, I feel like I'm talking to Him. But I also have like meditated, and I find that the form of meditation, I find that I'm putting myself in a place where I can speak to Him, and it's just me and Him. So that's part of the reason why I do meditation sometimes. They say that it's best like when you wake up or when you're about to go to bed, because that's when your body's in that mode to, you know, your brain's not working at like full capacity, I guess. Yeah. So I just kind of made it a space to where I could speak to Him back and forth. But that's how I see meditation.
Nice. Yeah, bro. I feel like all of those that's just a bunch of great ingredients to just create a good life, man. Like just
trying to, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, man. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
No, and you're on a great path. Like I said, like just like the word trying, I feel like is something that should be in our vocabulary every day. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying, because once I feel like we stop trying, what else are you doing? Yeah. That's not life.
Then you start saying I can't, or I didn't, or I won't.
Yeah. And then it's just the process starts, but you go backwards. Yeah. The process to your doom, to your failure, to your eternal failure. Yeah. And that's where it just shuts off. But I can also agree with people that it's hard. I've been in that.
Absolutely.
I find myself daily.
Life in general is hard right now, man. Especially this time and days, you know.
My mom tells me that all the time. She's like, sometimes I feel sorry for your generation. You guys have so much more.
But guess what, man? Nobody cares.
Right? You gotta keep going.
And I get, and that goes back to the things that I'm doing now. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares what you're going through, whatever the hell the case may be. It's up to you to decide what it is you're gonna make it. Because you can sit there all day and say, "Damn, this shit sucks. This shit sucks," or you can say, "Damn, this shit sucks. It's time for me to do something." You know what I'm saying?
Yep, you can do it both ways.
Yeah,
because regardless, it's still gonna suck.
They say some people quit because it's hard. Some people start because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Which one do you want to do? Yeah. You got to throw that in there. You've been missing Diddy, bro. You know, you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Yeah, look at you feeling all fresh with that. You got energy now?
No, bro.
Hey, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. Before we started doing this, I was too sleepy, bro. I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So I got an IV. I did an energy booster IV, and I'm
right before this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
why
crazy.
You didn't see me take off my band?
No, I didn't see that.
I did one. Why do you think I got energy?
Damn, and I can actually like move my hand now. But
you can always move your hand, bro.
Really? I fell asleep for a little bit. No. I'm not lying. My hand was just like, I'm telling you, I was
fell asleep because you didn't want to move it from that position.
Dude, no, honestly, I do. My eyes like feel like a lot. I feel like a lot more focused right now. Like I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. You got a little bit of everything, bro. You're gonna be great tomorrow.
Damn, bro. I mean, bro, this has been a good talk so far.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah, I was excited, bro. I was excited to come by. I mean, I was excited to come do it with you, man. Because I'm like, anytime we have a conversation, it's always great, bro. That's why another reason I was really, really excited for. It's always a great conversation with you. Like I said, you always get my brain going, my mind thinking, and even sometimes like with the last conversation we had at Los's. Party thing? Yeah. That day I left, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker. I
appreciate
made some things click in my head, you know, that I need to do some stuff too. So, I mean, even at that point, I was already doing, you know, trying to do better for myself. But you definitely did help me a little bit more. Be like, all right, bro, you got to be accountable. Like, you got to step it up.
And I appreciate that because I mean, I've gotten that a lot recently where people are like, they talk to me and they're like, I haven't thought about that. Yeah. Or nobody sat to talk to me for a long time. Like I've never had this conversation.
People don't conversate anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where I come in and I want to.
That's great though. I admire that. You're definitely doing a lot of good things because there's a lot of people that would like to sit out and just talk to somebody, whether it's about something big that they're doing in life or they just want to talk. You know,
I'm very old school, very curious. If I can learn it outside of the phone, I'll try to.
Yeah.
Not a good reader. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't.
You dyslexic too?
Oh, very.
Me too.
And
bro.
My attention span is.
That's why I read a lot now, though.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm dyslexic.
I try to read audiobooks. I'm not gonna do that to myself.
No wonder.
I still read with my finger. I'm not lying.
I gotta put a piece of paper and slide.
A couple weeks ago, my dad was like, "All right, read this," and then it translated as reading it. And I'm reading it, and I'm reading out loud. And he was like, "Oh no, you don't have to read it to me. Like, just translate it later." I was like, I am reading. And he was like, "This is how you read?" He's like, "What the fuck?" He looked at me so like, "What do you mean?"
Damn.
No, but I mean,
it was embarrassing for me in school, bro. I was like, they're like, your turn to read. I was like, nah, you can go to somebody else. But now I'm better at it. You know, I can't say that I have improved because I've been reading more.
Consistency always takes, man. Obsession wins.
Now I'm just dumb a little bit.
Not too much. Well, I believe you.
Damn.
Man, bro. I appreciate you for your time, though, man.
Absolutely, like, man. I wish we had more time. I would have loved. Man, we can do this as long as you want now.
We can keep going. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we already an hour in, I think.
That's the crazy part, right? That I always tell people, man.
Yeah.
Whenever they come and they're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if
I don't know if I can get an hour out of me. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it's already 2.5 hours. You're just like, that is insane.
What's the longest one you've done? Let me ask you a question now.
Right now, it was with my boy Tony. We talked about our top 5 films each. So just 5 films, right? 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Damn.
Yep. Shout out to my boy Tony. He kept up. I love, like I said, I love it when somebody like is so interested in something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can talk to him about it. And I mean, obviously, I love movies. That's why I've gone into the film part with the guys.
Yeah.
I've always seen myself
and then the
do
other movies
like
people
that.
don't know you do.
Oh, they know it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Your business is growing, dude.
Something's growing. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the longest one.
Yeah. Pause.
I know. Hey, yo. I know that the last time I did a podcast, like the season before, where we did it with Lalo back in like 2019, I had one. I think that one, the longest, was like 2.5 hours, and we did it with
That's impressive, man. It's hard to keep up. So like, especially when you're like having like when you're like the host and you have a guest. It's hard to sometimes keep up that.
I'm a yapper, man. I've been told
I yap too, but
right?
I think that's why I said it's okay if we keep going.
Yeah, people. I mean, people don't mind it when they do it with me, though. I don't know. They've always told me they're like, I like the same thing. Like, I just feel more curious now. And I'm just like, that's just how I am, bro. I've always been the one to like not shy away from asking the question. Because I need to know. I want to know. So,
yo, you're
what?
Cheese monster as fuck, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And then they're going to be like, no,
cheese, man.
It wasn't that bad. No, I've had it where like people tell me like, oh, it's because this happened. But it's not. I'm like, tell me.
And
then they will. They still tell me because they just have so much trust in me. Apparently.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't even know why I'm telling
like it's not being recorded. Yeah.
No, and I've had that. Like, I've had that saying, I don't know why I'm even telling you this. And I was like, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. Yeah.
Because I really do enjoy it. I've always been a fan of Joe Rogan. You know, and
I was about to tell you, he's a Mexican. You're Mexican Joe Rogan.
Hey. I appreciate it.
No, that's how, if I truly had, now this is for everybody here. If I truly had to describe you to somebody, it's like a Mexican Joe Rogan. No, dead ass, because you don't just only have knowledge. You try to obtain as much knowledge as you can from your guests, and you try to see things from their point of view, and you just try to figure out what's going on with people in life. Because sometimes that's all people really want. Somebody to talk.
And that's what I like. That even on the description of this, like I'm just trying to figure out what makes everybody one of one, because it is everybody's different in one way or another. Like, absolutely. Like a lot of people, for example, like growing up as an immigrant, for me, I think I connect with a lot of people. Yeah. But then there's a lot of people who just don't see that side of you. Yeah. So even just that alone, like, has made me super curious about like how people think. And
that's another thing that I've gotten to. Like, dang, don't remember you being like this. I was probably more confident now. I'm a little bit more confident. I got more things going for me, and I trust in who I want to be and what I'm doing. That's basically it is.
And I've put myself out there a lot for me to be able to say that I've tried, and I know I've never held.
You're doing a great job. I'll tell you that, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
I'm like I said, it's just I wanted I was stagnant for a while. And I felt like that was I was disservicing something that I had within me. I knew something, and I follow that feeling. Yeah. That something in me is going to do good. I just have to go find it. Yeah. It's not going to come to me. I realize that now. It won't come to you. You got to go and really look for it. And I think that's the only thing that's giving me drive. Like, I want to find that thing that's going to make me click fully. And right now, this is helping, the photography. I'm definitely, digesting that like more and more every day of like what it's gonna entail, what it means for me to actually put that into my life. Yeah. Again, like we're about to travel. That alone just brings a whole different movement to your life within itself.
Yeah, but I think my trip to Mexico was really like big for me too, as far as like my confidence too. Cause I'm like, man, this is where I came from.
And so how'd you go over there?
On a permission.
What is it called? Advanced Pro?
Yeah.
Nice. You got the signature and the stamp.
I got everything, boy. Nice. I did put my ass in a room on the way back. And I was like, Ooh. Boy, I got scared. I was like, no. I was like, damn.
Where, at the airport?
I was like, let me call my uncle, pick me back up from where he dropped me off.
At the airport?
At the airport, yeah. When you get here to Atlanta, that's when they put me to the side.
That's the worst.
But I was like, that's crazy.
When did you come into the States?
When I was 5.
Me too.
Bro.
5 years old.
Yeah.
Well, I was 5 in 2004.
Yeah. You like a desert crosser or you a water?
No, desert.
You're desert?
Well, actually, I walked a couple, and then we got.
So you're an earthbender then? No. Mine was through the water.
Yeah, I actually didn't have to do that. I came through through a car as a fake, like with fake papers. I just
giving out free game. Allegedly. Yeah, we allegedly came here illegally.
I'm literally waiting for my DACA to arrive as we speak. I hope they don't see.
You shouldn't even be speaking. You should not be speaking that one bit.
Man, that's one thing that I've been thinking about lately, though. With all of this thing,
you want to try it?
I'm not afraid to go back. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've thought about this a lot recently.
I don't think I was afraid either, but no, I think it was like a reality check.
I think, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably hate this that I'm saying this, but I feel like I'm most in my right out of anybody to say it, that with everything that's going on, I've come to the conclusion that is like, if they kick me out of this country and I don't belong here, it's not gonna be the end of me. I know that wherever I go, I'm gonna find a way. Yeah. I feel like that's one thing that we're not giving ourselves props. That if we're so proud that we're Mexican, like we're from Mexico, we're Mexican.
We should be able to. We should be able to go back and provide something.
I feel like that's the only thing that
we don't do that.
We don't do that.
We establish ourselves here, and then we stay here, and we feed into them some more.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, with all of this going on, I'm not gonna get political, but it's just more of like, hey, I'm gonna make it no matter what. I'm sorry if whatever's going on. Like sometimes I can't do anything about it. Like I can't control it.
But that's the thing. You can't sit around and cry.
Exactly. You sit around. People are like, "Oh, what are you doing with all of this?" I'm like, "I gotta go to work." Yeah. Like the people who are most affected. We're. That's
what my older brother tells me, because my older brother's got a little harder too. He don't got no deck or nothing, but he's out there driving because he's got to get his son around. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, you cannot be driving. But what does he do? And then what can I say? You know what I'm saying? He's got to do it. And it's not like you can tell a grown man, don't take your son that wants to go to soccer practice because you're putting yourself in danger. But at the same time, it's things that you got to do.
It's who you do it for, too. What's the point,
exactly.
What's the point?
Yeah. So it's like I can't really say anything. But, at the end of the day, I'm going to be there if anything. But you don't got control over that shit.
I feel like that also plays a big role into maybe our ethic. Our work ethic or, our drive is just that, like, hey, we got a lot more sitting on our shoulders, man. It's not just you anymore.
Yeah, people always, I think we would knock ourselves some just because we're like, dang, I don't have the opportunity that other people have. But it's like, that's an excuse.
No, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love
that's an excuse because now I can show you that you have more than me, but yet I'm doing more than you.
Yes, please think that you have the upper hand. Please.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I love that.
People were like, doesn't that bother you? No, it does not. I know.
I want you to think that. Exactly. Yeah, I want you to think that.
I love it. Like I'm like that's mine. That's me. That's for me. Yeah. And you're not gonna take it away from me. Yeah. That struggle is mine. Yeah. You keep whatever you have. You keep those. Those,
that's like for you.
All that life that you've had. Go for it. Yeah. I love it for you. Because if I was in their shoes, where would I be?
Exactly.
That's what I've always put. I stopped thinking of why don't I have what they have. It's more of like, who would I be if I had what they had? Yeah. I'd be the same. Yeah. So it's more of like, you know what? Keep it. Yeah. I love that in the movie, the mid-90s, where he talks about that. Like, like what you would see in my closet, you wouldn't want to trade what's in yours. Yeah. When you see everybody's secrets, you like yours.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, exactly.
So that's what the thing that I let go of that. That was one big thing. And my little brother, he called me out on that. Because I used to be that person, like the victimized. You
gotta love when a sibling does it.
Oh, and a younger one.
You gotta love when a sibling does it.
That would call you up, man.
My little sister checked me on some shit one time. I was like, damn.
Right. It's simple shit. I'm like, hey, bro, you sound like a fucking hater right now, dude. And you're just kind of
in that moment, you like make a joke about it, but you really think about it, like, damn,
he's right.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, like if you trust in your siblings, and everybody becomes an adult. Yeah. You gotta listen. You gotta be like, hey, you're right. It'd be hard. It's hard to listen. Sometimes it's hard to take it, but you're kind of like, hey, pause.
Hey, yo.
But definitely, that was one of my biggest, like the victim like mentality. I know people are gonna hate that, but it's I don't have this because of this and this. He was like, if you're so good, you always tell me you're this, you're that. Why are you letting this shit hit you? Why are you letting this shit stop you? I thought you were. Boy,
I thought you was a big boy. Yeah.
And so that's what it was. He like if you were them, if you were in their shoes,
practice what you preach, though. Practice what you preach, though. If you're saying you're doing this and you're saying this is who you are, you got to show it too. You can't just say I'm bold and then or an opportunity come up and you don't want to take it. You know what I'm saying? You got to practice what you preach.
You can't be self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
You gotta. Yeah. There's a saying where it was like you can scream yourself. Affirmations in the mirror like every day, but it's the stack of undeniable proof of things you've done that will really speak for you.
Oh yeah,
like only that will give you the gratification you look for.
You better accept the shit that you do too,
and the shit that you don't. I feel like that's one thing that like, hey, you could. That's you. Like when you see that train pass and you're like, that could have been you. It's good because it wakes you up.
Yeah, you're not there because of you.
Because of you, and that's the worst one. That's when people like, I feel like maybe lose out when they're like, no, it was because of this and that. Because again, you'll always find something to fall back on and be like, I didn't do this because of that.
Yeah, I think the biggest growth for me was like you just stop comparing yourself.
Yes,
to people. Stop comparing yourself to people that are your age or doing things differently the way you are, or have more or have less, whatever the case may be. Stop comparing yourself to people, because at the end of the day, the only person you need to compare yourself is to who you were yesterday.
Exactly.
That's the only thing you need to do. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Are you better? Are you worse? Or are you the same?
And sometimes it has to come out from an external force. Like I've had people have to kind of like word out for me that I'm like, man, I feel like I'm not doing this and that. And they look at me and they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You've done this. You've done, like, they see you and you kind of look at them like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, how did you know that? They're like, what are you talking about?
Watch
that's you.
Yeah, we watch it.
They're like, how can I not see it?
Yeah.
You know?
But that's why I tell you the stuff that you're doing is like, it's real good, and you keep going because it's going somewhere. Because, sometimes people need to hear it. Sometimes we get so caught up. Sometimes we get so caught up in it, like, oh, he knows it. Even if he knows it, we gotta let you know, because every other compliment and every time you accept that compliment, you put more positivity into your character, and now that character is growing.
I've definitely, even though it's not like I'm getting like millions of views and stuff, being able to like do what I like at the level that I've done it, and have somebody come and tell me like, hey bro, I started doing this because I saw that. You're like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. Like I could have literally just been sitting at home, like I've done like the past year.
It's when you impact at least one person, they come back and tell you.
Yeah, when they come back, and I didn't expect it to come at this like level. Obviously, you would expect it when it was like, you're reaching millions, but no, I didn't think
you don't need to be reach millions to inspire.
Right, I didn't think about it that way.
Somebody could be watching you, never spoke to you one day in their life, but just watching you and they just be like inspired.
It is cool. Last time at the Pata Negra at the other show, somebody just screamed it out when I was passing by. And so you're just kind of like, no, like this is something. Like this isn't some, like sometimes I get lazy on this and I realize like it's not just you.
Yeah.
It's not just for you anymore.
It's for other people.
You come here, like I'm definitely always been taught that by my mom, like you come to serve. You're on this world to serve. Yeah. Every day. So
that's another thing I learned about service. You gotta be of service to somebody. You gotta serve somebody in some way. Not saying be their slave or servant. No. It's like some type of service. Provide some type of service to somebody, whether it be something small or big.
Lend an ear. Knowledge. That you can like listen. Yeah, give a good advice. Yeah. I've heard somebody say like if we could put it into a certain perspective, is the rent you would pay by inhabiting Earth is just doing good service to the next person.
Yeah, exactly.
That should just be more than enough. Just be a good person. Like same thing with even spirituality or wanting to follow like God or in Jesus, like
whatever works for people. Yeah.
Why not try being like them? Why not try and be like Jesus? How about that? How about let's start from there? Let's excuse all of this, like reading all of this shit. How about we try to just be a good person? Don't be a piece of shit. Yeah. And let's see how hard that is. Yeah. And people realize it's harder to be not to be a piece of shit. Yeah. Because it's easier to be in the defense, even though it's not. Yeah. It's more accessible to. It's more accessible to be so closed off.
It's easy to give in.
I literally right now I had a friend randomly, he found a ChatGPT, like got into it, and literally asked like if I wanted to destruct like the nuclear family, like that structure, how would I go about it? And it went and literally depicted like all the strategies that you see today. Like let's make individualism more accepted. Yeah, let's put people more, push them to be alone. And now you see all of these social media influencers like let me go eat by myself. Let me do this, all of this by myself. I live by myself. And you see people are liking that, but then that's them cutting that tie of like, you don't gotta be social. Let's cut you off. Let's let you keep self-betterment. Yes, you'll be by yourself, but keep that to yourself. And that circle just sticks you right here. Yeah, and that's what I see the difference. Like you said, people don't converse. Yeah, that's them. That's the system keeping us in a little circle.
Well, it's because we're serving this internet, but we're not even serving other people. We're serving the wrong things.
And I mean, people will take it, but it's just more of like, are they looking at it? They're consuming it just through their eyes. Where like, if it's a physical being, like, but that means getting out there. That's where I feel like people miss out on like not talking to people.
But they just look at it like, I'm going to do that, but don't really do it. It's different when you, like you say, you have somebody in front of you speaking to you. Because you can talk to somebody crazy on the phone all day. But if they're in front of you, are you going to talk crazy to them? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's different when you have that physical presence in front of you and you're talking to them, because you're getting actual real life expressions, tone of voices, stuff. Texting sometimes.
You're going to do what you said in the text messages?
You're going to do what to me?
Hey, yo. Damn. No,
that's one of the reasons I've like kind of hated texting, because you don't understand somebody's tone of voice.
Sarcasm, tone of voice.
Yeah.
Like, I suck at talking.
Yeah.
On like
you might.
game.
Yeah, you might.
I suck at it, dude. Online, I suck at it, dude. Even in person, I'm not that great.
Well, yeah, we know that, but I've seen you in action, my guy. No, I'm kidding. No, but yeah, it's just what it is. Like you don't know what they're saying, how they're saying it. The tone of voice matters, bro. Like you need to hear people's voices. Like texting, you really can't tell. You know, were they sincere? Were they being sarcastic? You know, did they really mean that?
And you
can tell if I'm in front of you if you meant it. But if we're fucking miles away and you text me, I don't know if you mean that.
That is true. No, and then people notice that about me, that I love to call. I hate texting. Bro. Yeah, I hate. And then most of the time I'm
yeah,
driving.
You told me that first time. Dude, like, I'm gonna call you, or you said I'm gonna text you, and you called me. I'm like, bro, don't do that. Don't tell me you're gonna text me and then call me.
I just hate texting, like especially when it's long paragraphs.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But to me, it's that.
Use voice memos, then, motherfucker.
No, but it's more of like I want you to feel my energy.
Yeah,
I want you to feel.
But it goes back to that in real time. You know, you want to be able to conversate back and forth. You don't want to wait 10 minutes before they respond after you.
That's true. I'm very old school.
I think that's probably why you suck at flirting, because you don't take. You know, you're not a person that like, oh, I can say something sweet, and then they take 20 minutes to reply, and then they reply, and you're like, well, it's dead now. I don't even want to do it.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Once I put myself,
I'm trying to give you a benefit of doubt, bro.
Like as in, like do it.
Like that's probably why you suck at at flirting through text. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I suck at it. Like I can't. At the same time, I don't know if I'm that interested in the person that makes me want to like go that far.
So it's you.
Definitely.
Piece of shit.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like because of not saying that it was a bad ending. I ended it in a time where it wasn't planned. Yeah. And I feel like that fucked me up so much mentally that I don't even want to be with anybody right now. Yeah. You know, like I was like, I let go of that for this mission, right?
For sure.
So I'm just like,
it's a sacrifice.
Also a disservice to myself of letting go of something so beautiful now to just go and fuck off. Fuck that, dude. I would hate myself for that. So I think that's where I'm at right now. That's why I feel like it's maybe a defense mechanism. I had this one girl tell me, she's like,
do you feel like you can't be in like a relationship right now?
No.
You feel like you can't?
I can't.
Why?
I'm very entregado. Like I like to be present, but I realized that what's keeping me away was this energy, this curiosity of where can I go. That kept me away from doing a lot of good things. Okay. And I feel like I was...
you like to be present, but you know you can't be present.
Right now.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
And people...
Because I feel it because that quality time matters. The presence matters.
You can't... When you don't know what the outcome of your... You know, that journey that you're on, it's hard to kind of give that vision to somebody.
You don't know the outcome of anything.
That's what I'm saying. I can't... How can I show that...
the vision to them. Yeah. Well, you can't...
Because maybe what drives me,
they have to see it in you already. You can't sell somebody your vision and be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna stick with him. You know, like can't nobody feed you a vision of who you're gonna be.
But like, let me put it in this perspective. Like, let's say I know this path that I'm on is hard, right? It's gonna be trouble. Yeah. But my faith burned so much in me that's what's getting me through that. I can't transfer that faith always. I feel like most people, if it doesn't have a benefit to them, why would they take that, you know? Why would they take that hurt? Why would they take that pain? Why would they take that sacrifice?
So you feel like that was something you had to do for
myself.
For you? Okay, cool.
Because
it's always okay.
I hated not being able to be concrete of my feelings.
Yeah.
I wasn't emotionally intelligent. I was starting to. I became more patient.
Yeah.
But I realized like being quiet was very disservicing to myself. You see,
it's always disservicing.
And that I confused it again. Being patient with being quiet. Boom. Not the thing.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of, even it's hard to admit, it's a lot of, inability to do certain things or explain certain things that I hated about myself. That I was like, why can't I?
It shouldn't be hard.
This? But it is, you know.
Yeah. But if it is, then you gotta go.
I think that's what it was. That I was like, I'm not gonna be good to you, and I won't be good to me. Yeah. And I feel like I said, like walking away from something that like meant a lot to you and became a part of my meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Now it just seems kind of like I threw all of that away for nothing if I just go to the next thing, the next person.
I get you.
And I'd be doing a disservice to that next person because
you're still not there.
I'm not where I want to be. And I know people are like, hey, you're putting too much thought into it. Like maybe it's hard.
But no, I guess it wouldn't apply to you because I mean sometimes people can grow together, you know.
No, they can, and I feel like that's the only thing that I'm looking for. Like when a person comes,
do you feel like you need somebody like in this industry or like something similar to what you do?
No. I'd be great.
Because I feel like some people are stuck on stuff like that.
Like if it's like in the movies and I fall in love with a florist, I'd be happy. Like that that amazes me. Like being good at something, I think is the only thing that I'm looking for.
Okay.
I just like something so much that we can talk about it forever. Love it so much that like it's not just you anymore. It's like whatever that part of you can explore and can be fruitful. Yeah. Do it. I don't care about financial gain. I don't care about all of that. Just be somebody besides my partner. And I think that's like the beauty of it. Like always push me by pushing yourself. Yeah. And I feel like once we do that, I had with one of my cousins, I had that conversation. He was like, I just love the fact that I looked at her as like, it's your team. Yeah. I want my team to be
like, I want to grow with this person.
Exactly. Yeah. And like she wants to grow whether I'm there or not.
Yeah. Like if I benefit from this, I want them to benefit. It's like, I get you. Yeah.
And so I feel like maybe that's just the reason why. And maybe you can call it self-sabotaging, where I'll go into a conversation.
Always self-sabotage.
Yeah, because and I'm like, I really don't give a fuck. So I'll say whatever's on my head. And people are like, why would you say that? Because I feel like the person that's supposed to end up with you, they got to understand that that's the way I roll.
Yeah, they got to read you. They got to be like, oh, he's just bullshit, or this is just who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they got to be able to accept that. But that's another thing that I've learned too. You got to speak your mind. I don't keep shit in my head. Yeah. If it's up here and it wants to be said, I sometimes say it.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, why'd you say that, bro? Like, that's not how you're going to get girls. I'm like, then I don't want that girl.
Yeah, facts.
If I got to go and be a dick or be an asshole to that girl, what kind of girl are you going for, you know? Yeah. I'm like, nah, that talking like, oh, you got to like go and like, you know, all those like empty nothings, you know? Yeah. Fuck no. Yeah. Like, you know how much like depression that's going to bring onto you later, or like you're going to be with that person, you're going to be like
wasting time.
And I'm very but like a true believer of like soul ties, like stuff like that too. So I watch who I hang out with, or who, you know, you do certain things with, like who you release certain energies to. I believe in stuff like that. I've gotten over.
That's all we are. We're energy. That's all we fucking are, is energy.
Yeah. So I mean, I've tried. You know, you try to go out there every once in a while, but it's just a big slap in the back of the head. And like, it's not your time yet. When it comes, it's gonna come naturally. And I feel like, yes, you do have to be out there, but also, it's because if you believe that it's that one person, it's not gonna come all the time.
Yeah. But sometimes it comes when you least expect it.
Yeah, that's true too. And then that's the only thing that I want to. That's what it was. I found out like what I'm looking. People are like, okay, so like, you can't always be ready, right? You're never.
Do you know exactly what you're looking for though? Or could you say I got an idea?
So what I want to, I guess, like when somebody asks me that same question, like, okay, what is it that you're looking for? I want to be able to find what makes me tick, and find it in a way where, through examples of what I've done, a person could put respect behind it. Okay. I feel like only then they will maybe not see the vision, but they see the process that I've done. And I feel like only then can a man really say, this is what I want. But I see a lot of these guys, I see myself in those guys, where they're like, nah, she didn't fucking understand what I wanted. She didn't understand this. But then you ask them, what do you want? And they're like, well, you know what I mean? You know, I want to be a hustler. Like, I want to be rich. And you're like, bro, like, that's just so broad. Like, how do you want to become rich? Yeah. Like, what are you going to do to become rich? What are you going to do with your money?
You have an idea, but not a plan. And
no plan, no vision. And that's what I'm saying. When you can't put yourself behind that vision, or you can't put that energy or that purpose, that faith into like a tangible force, how can you expect somebody to really grab it with you? Because think about it, that's a benefit to you, but it's not a full benefit to them. They still have a life, they still have their dreams. So for them to put when you're with somebody, you got to put yourself aside sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
For the betterment of the team.
Because it's not just you.
Who are you doing that for?
It's not just you.
You get what I'm saying? Like, who are you gonna do that for? You're not gonna do that just for any regular Joe, you know? You're gonna it has to matter. It has to have some type of substance. And I think once I find that within myself, only then can I really feel comfortable in going to somebody and be like, this is who I am. And like, I fully am behind this, what I'm presenting to you. Yeah. And if you don't like it, it's cool, because I love it. Yeah. I love me. Yeah. I'm not there.
That's how I'm trying to get to, you know? Like me right now, I love who I am. I think that's one of the biggest growths from last year, is that I learned to love myself. I think now I'm learning to be at peace with myself, you know, like be kinder to yourself with shit. Because sometimes we're a little too hard on ourselves with the shit that we do. Like, damn, why the fuck did I do this? Or damn, I fucked up. I had this when I wasn't supposed to have this. I told myself I wasn't going to do it. But it's cool, you know? You get to go again. If you fuck up, it's okay to fuck up. But as long as you continue with that consistency and saying that this is who I want to be and this is the work that I'm continually putting behind it, then you're just going to grow. But if you keep saying, like, I'm going to do it and don't do it, you know.
Yeah. And I feel like they said, like, chase the small wins. But those, like that, like setting yourself up to do something and not doing it, man, it takes such a toll into the way of thinking. Yeah. More than you really believe it. The more you set things to do, and I'm saying this out of, like, not because I feel like I've conquered it. I'm saying it because I face it a lot. Where I let myself down a lot, and you're just like, this is just hurting you more. Yeah. Than those small wins of, like, today I'm gonna go work out, and doing it. Yeah. Bro, the gratification of that. Yeah. That's why I started doing mornings too, because in the mornings we get it out the way and you feel good. It sets the pace for your entire day. Okay. So it's up to you to continue that pace, or you're gonna just let it die down. And there's times where, like, don't get me wrong, I still get to a point where, like, damn, like, today's not it. But I catch myself doing that. The issue would be if I didn't catch myself saying, like, damn, today's not it. Because if I could catch myself doing that, I could change it. And that's what I've been doing. So whenever I catch myself saying today's not the day, or damn, today's going to be a bad day, I catch myself and say, no, today's going to be a good day. You know, this is what's going to happen. We're going to get this done, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to have a good day. That's it. Do you believe in, like, rest days?
For what, the gym?
No, like you. Like, do you just, take for rest your life? Days? Do you do any, like, days that you're like, you know what, today maybe I won't do anything that I do regularly because I want to, like, you know, maybe interrupt that, like, pattern, that rhythm that we get so accustomed to. You think those are beneficial?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're supposed to have a rest.
What do you find yourself doing?
But I feel like those days? I feel like on a rest day you're supposed to just kind of figure some stuff out about yourself still. You know, it's not necessarily like working, like putting work into your body or your actual physical work, what you do. I just feel like you just sit there and be with yourself. You know, talk to yourself, kind of talk to God. I feel like the days off for me, I try to stay away from the TV. Okay. Stay, you know, I mean, the phone is hard to stay away from, but I'm working on it. I've been a little bit better. Like, there's times where I put it down, but then, you know, you like, fuck,
shit, yeah, bro. Right now I've been back to it. Hitting, and especially 12 hours.
Yes, but especially us too. You know, we use it as a source to get our business. That's so a lot of people tell me. It's a little bit harder for us because we have to be on top of it, especially if we want to put content out there, if we want to get more clientele, or if we want to get, you know, our following growing, whatever the case may be. We have to put in a little bit more time. But I mean, I do try to find. I think those rest days are good for you, man. You gotta sometimes detach from that, like you said, that constant schedule that you put on yourself. Because if you could become a robot again. Yeah, it's robotic. I don't like my life being robotic, and that's another reason why I told you, like, that part of the mobile IV is because I like to move around. I like to get to places. I like to meet people. I like to talk to people. I like getting their face. You know, that's who I am now. Before I wasn't doing that.
I do like that, like the part of the construction world that I'm moving constantly. You're always different places.
I miss it sometimes.
I can get anywhere, like, now in the city, really, because of like work that I don't even need the GPS as much.
Yeah, you know the city.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, if you just tell me, like, oh, on this street, I can at least find one way to get there, and you tell me, well, La Altura is like up to right here. Yeah. Okay, I can kind of like figure it out. Yeah. So, but like, it's just, you know, I feel like, I've tried it once to be like in a place where, like, you work and it's just stationary. Yeah. Definitely not good for me. Yeah, I think it's my ADHD in me too that won't let me do it.
But that's why I like to keep myself busy. Like, when I'm here and I have extra time to do stuff, I'll try to do other stuff. Like, I'll try to learn new skills online. I'll try to, like, just do something that's beneficial towards me and my learning, or like my knowledge, whatever the case. Whether it's reading a book or whatever the case may be, I try to do something productive, because that's time you're not gonna get back. Yeah, that's one big thing about me too. My time. You know, not just my time, but other people's time. You gotta respect it, you know?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like on the rest days, I've given myself some times, and I go a little overboard on the rest part. Just forget.
Meaning what? Like, you don't do nothing at all, or like you just chill at home? Or what?
No, that it's a lot of days where, like, I won't do one thing for one day, and then the next day you're like, maybe I won't do it again. And then another one, and then another one, and you're just like, all right, now. But sometimes it helps me, because then it reminds me why I do what I do.
Yeah, you're like, you're fucked up. I got to get back to this.
Not only that, but you get so bored. Like, that's why retirement, I don't think I'll ever be able to retire, because
that's how Mexicans don't want to retire.
No, and not only that, I think I talked to this one guy, and that's when I, like, back in the day when I started with Steven, we're trying to retire and everything. He's like, you boys, like just talking to you guys, I realized that you guys will never retire.
Yeah.
You'll always find something else to keep you busy.
Yeah.
You guys are always gonna be moving.
That's
except
good though. I don't
Yeah,
find
and I'm looking
anything wrong
forward
with
to
that.
it.
Yeah. I think me and you both have a good like sense in that because we were talking about stuff we do. Is like we always want to learn something new. We want to do something new, whether it's something big or small, whatever the case may be. You know,
I think like to me, retirement is probably me like taking over the taco truck with my dad. I think that's
yeah,
gonna
you
be,
still
like, my
doing
thing.
something, but it's not as like hardcore as you used to be or whatever. the
Shit,
case may
bro.
be.
Sometimes it is, man. But I've realized that I love it.
That's the food industry.
I love doing the tacos because I've done it since I was a kid. You know, like learning how to flip the tortillas, learning to prep the vegetables,
Facts.
all of that.
I
me
mean-
mama way, like I do it for free.
I miss that crazy environment sometimes too, so I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Crazy
man.
environment of the
I
eating.
love I love sweating. Like people like refrain from it. I love doing something that like takes that much
push you to
energy.
work. Yeah, it should push you to work.
Yeah, it really does. Like when people are like, oh, like what takes your mind off of it? Like go cut the
Physical
grass.
hand work is good, bro.
I've actually talked to. I remember I was doing a job at this one guy's house, and I mean, this dude, I think he like owned a carpet business that did a lot of like the casinos in Vegas.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Okay.
motherfucker was stacked. Like his house was already probably like a 800K house, and in that neighborhood, he was like, "Yeah, I own like 7 of other houses, and I rent them." You're like, "What?" This guy on a regular Wednesday gets here like around lunch to his house. You just see him go upstairs. Says that everybody goes upstairs, comes back down, dirty jeans, dirty shirt, and he gets all of his stuff ready. And I saw a zero turn like those like lawnmowers in the garage. Never thought much about it until like a couple minutes later, you just hear it turn on. And he's out there cutting the grass. And then before we left that day, I remember I just asked him, I was like, it's killing me. I got to ask you. Like, I'm not trying to be a pocket watcher or nothing, but you got money to pay somebody to cut your grass. Like, why the fuck are you doing this on the Wednesday? You could be golfing. You could be doing literally anything. This guy had money. And I love that he was just like, it just keeps me a man. Like how can you call yourself a man if you can't take care of your own grass?
Yeah.
He's like, who am I? How good am I that I can't even do this?
Yeah.
He's like, fuck that. He's like, I like getting my hands dirty. I like sweating. I like having something else that like this doesn't define me. Like money and everything is not gonna define me. The fact that I could put in hard work still shows not only me but my employees, my family, that I'm a respectable man. Like I do what needs to be done. Whether it's,
and that it wasn't luck that he got there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that woke up a lot of things in me of like, hey man, like don't pay somebody for something you can do. Like don't be a buster.
Yeah,
man. Like,
for sure.
Like you can definitely go and like
Go buy the shit, buy the equipment.
buy the equipment, do it.
If you don't know how to do it, you got YouTube, my boy.
Yeah, and I think that
YouTube.
woke up a lot in me where I was like, you can never be too good.
Yeah.
You'll never be the best because the best is only what you make of it, really.
Yeah.
And I feel like that learning from people like that, like I think that was one thing too. Like don't ever be afraid to like get dirty, get sweaty. And with the ladies, I'm never afraid to get dirty and sweaty. But you get both ways. It goes both ways.
Not with your flirting skills, my guy. Not with those flirting skills.
I have no flirting skills. I think that's the funniest thing.
I'm gonna put you through a crash course. Not that I'm any good at it either.
And it doesn't bother me. I feel like sometimes people I've had this conversation with guys, and they're like, "So what do you expect? Do you expect for a girl to like you like just because?" I'm like, "I'm sorry that sounds crazy, but
yeah, that's what you want though.
Yeah, I want somebody that I don't have to be empty to. I can be myself, and I feel like
don't hide anything from them.
People
or
say
feel
that,
like you have to hide anything from them.
And I feel like at a certain point with anybody I've been with, I've always felt reserved some way or another.
Yeah,
and I feel like now I don't have to. Like I can be a piece of shit because what? I don't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah.
I don't depend on who I am. And I feel like
we all got flaws.
I got a lot more. You want some?
No, I'm sure. I got my own.
But it's just
I got less, but I still got some.
The acceptance part, I think, has helped me a lot, man. And I feel like that's where that's growth. I always tell people, I'm like, accept that you are who you are and you can't change it.
But you also got to be able to, but you also got to be able to accept like others for what they are. You know what I'm saying? You can't change people. People always get so caught up in the fact like, I'm gonna change you. No, if you sit there, you gotta say I'm gonna change you.
Expectations too.
Yeah.
I feel like when I think that's something that I'm trying to like bring myself up to, that like exactly, people will fail you at things that maybe they're not failures, you just don't like it.
Yeah.
Again, separate the emotions, separate the feelings, but I get what you're saying too. Like you gotta accept that like they're gonna have flaws too. Are you willing to love them past those?
Yeah. Because see, we think about like the good, the great, the memories we're gonna make, but are we gonna get through the bullshit? You know what I'm saying? That's true. Because I know you come with bullshit, but are we gonna get through the bullshit? Are you gonna stick with me and say, all right, we're gonna get through this bullshit?
And am I gonna have enough love to put myself aside
to go through that bullshit
with you?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I gotta be able to handle your bullshit. You gotta be able to handle my bullshit that I'm coming with. But at the same time, at the end of the day, if we can handle it together.
You see, at a certain point, I feel like there is a serious factor to it, and I feel like we overlook it. We think it's like, no, like, it's all funny, it should be fun. Not always, man. And those conversations can get real.
But that's what and that's how I do it now too. Like, I look into like, damn, can I handle the bad? I don't be looking at the good in people no more. I'm like, can I handle that bad? Because I can see what the bad is, but can I handle it?
Like DMX said, he always believes and trusts that people will show them who they are.
Oh yeah, people will always show you who they are. You just gotta give them a little time.
Just a little bit of time. And that's why a lot of people, you meet these people like in the clubs and the bars, and they start just spilling themselves on you.
Yeah.
And people are like, literally. Like for somebody who talks a lot, you don't talk a lot. And I'm just like, no, I'm listening.
No. And that's the one thing I recently got at the, I think when we went to, no, actually yesterday. They were like, you just standing here? I'm like, yeah. I'm just standing here minding my fucking business, listening to music.
Why? Because you weren't drinking?
Huh? I had a drink, yeah. But they were still coming up to me like, you've been standing over here, you by yourself? Like, nah, there's people here, but they went to go grab some shit. But it's just like people keep coming up to you and be like, just because you sitting here, just standing here, they think, you're not here with nobody, you're lonely, or you just not having no fun. It's not you're not having no fun. It's just that I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably more sober than you are, so I'm watching. And then sometimes they'll come up to you like sloppy drunk and then try to holler at you, and you sober as fuck, and you're like,
trust me, yeah, I know that feeling when you can't smoke in
get
the club.
Away from me.
And I'm just sitting there. You see the mugrero.
Get away from me, bro.
And yeah, I mean, what is it? We're here to listen, not judge.
Yeah.
But man,
do you feel bad rejecting women like that sometimes? Like if they come up to you,
always. Like I don't have women just coming up to me randomly, just I want you.
Nah, I feel like that you do.
Why people say that, and I'm like, what? I've had girls tell me.
But have you had to reject something like at a club or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's because, dude, when you're not drunk, hey, trust me, bro. These girls don't look at.
I haven't been drunk at their last, I think, 3 tocadas.
Well, I mean, it goes farther than that when we get invited to like sections and clubs, and you're there at 3, 4 in the morning. It becomes an afters, and you're not drunk at all, bro. Trust me, everything seems not as good as they say. That's what people love.
That's why sometimes I don't do it. I'm sitting there sometimes just.
And people,
I'm just watching.
I've always gotten the question of like, so you just sit there sober? I was like, that's how crazy you got to be sometimes. That like imagine if I was drunk, who would I be right now?
I've gotten that so much too. Like, are you drinking tonight? No, bro. Why not?
Yeah, and it is also crazy that like people that haven't seen me for a while, they have that thought of themselves, like of me in their head. Yeah. Because I was that guy for a long time. I was definitely that guy who could have a drink. But now it's more of a.
I still do it. You just pick and choose your moments. You know, like me, like majority of the time when we go to tocadas, bro, I'm probably gonna drink, but I'm not gonna drink heavy.
Yeah, to get fucked
like
up.
It hasn't been like a tocada that I've gone to that I've gotten like fucked up with y'all.
Yeah, no,
it hasn't. I mean, I've always had fun, but that goes to tell you I've never been drunk to have fun.
I feel like that's more of a character like attribute than anything.
Yeah,
because it's like I tell people like
you got to be able to have fun with.
You got to be able to have, and like why are you depending on this to be you?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Facts. Like, if you're cool, man.
Yeah. You don't gotta step out of line to be somebody you're not.
Yeah, because like I've definitely heard like no, I'm definitely more talkative when I'm drunk. Yeah. Like no, like
I'm talkative regardless. It just comes out way, way, way more when I'm drunk.
And it's just like if you're such a good person, you should be able to release it no matter how.
Yeah, if you're talking, yeah.
But then that's where the self-doubt and all of that comes in, the judgment, the fear of being judged.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be judged all the time. People, even if you're doing whatever you want to do, people are even if you're not affecting them, people are still gonna.
Bro, you could be a millionaire, you still be judged.
But
you can have like a fucking 8. Never mind. But you know what I'm saying.
You could have. Most of us don't, but you could have. Man, it's been fucking great, bro. It's been a great conversation.
I didn't expect it to go this long, honestly, but I had a blast. Bro.
This is fucking good. And
I feel like we didn't touch on a lot of things still, but
It's crazy, right? Yeah. It's crazy.
I feel like me and you still got a lot to talk about, so we're gonna have to do a second part for sure. We gotta
keep doing more. I'm definitely gonna bring you on for more. Yeah, if you just need a co-host and stuff.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I would love to. I'll pick a brain with you, bro.
Let's do it. But in the name of being here at Hydra Plus, man, appreciate it. Clean that.
Always.
You know what I'm saying?
Always.
How can people find you?
Oh, here, let me give y'all.
If anything, I'm gonna put it right here on the bottom.
Yeah. So if y'all are trying to book IV hydration with me, is Astro_IV hydration. So Astro ASTRO _ IV hydration 26. If you want to ever get at any of my jewelry, is Astro_ jewels 26. So pretty similar. If you want to book with me, again, like I said, you always get special rate if you book with me rather than through the company. But just know you're gonna get exceptional IV treatment.
Exceptional jewelry, exceptional
everything,
character, whatever you want, man.
Whatever you want
for the right price.
Not everything. Not everything. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna put all his information down here, Absolutely. Guys. Man, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Astro, all of it on 26. This is episode 26. Look at this, man.
March 26 is my birthday.
What is? That's what life is, right?
Yeah, man.
That's when you feel it connected.
There's no coincidence. I don't think. Don't. I don't think it connects like that. It's like a plug in the wall.
Fuck, yeah. I'll plug in something. All right.
Firme.
Palabra. But thank you guys for joining us, man.
Hell yeah. Any other time you want to do this again,
we definitely will, man. We'll be here and wherever we go, man.
Yeah.
And I'm, appreciative again for
always,
you
brother, always
sitting down with me on a Saturday, guys. Thank you so much for another episode of. If you made it this far, man, I appreciate you guys for just sitting down and listening.
If you didn't, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, man, the retention rate is pretty good, but not that good. But still, I love that people when they ask about the show, they look at it and they're like, oh shit, like these are long.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm like, it's not just me.
Yeah.
Like, that person sat there just as long as I did.
Conversated with me. Yeah.
So it's just a big tribute to you as to is to anybody, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Episode 26. This is PepTalks Podcast. We'll see you guys soon. And thank you for watching, guys. Let's go. I feel good. Okay.
You're gonna feel way better in the morning, I'm telling you, bro.
I always feel good in the morning. Everything's just tougher. Everything's harder.
Everything's hard as fuck. Oh, man.